الذين لا تعنيهم قضايا العالم بشكل كبير. وهذه السمعة لا شك اكتسبتها هذه الصحيفة عبر تاريخها الطويل من الحضور الإعلامي في الولايات المتحدة وفي دول العالم. بعض هذا الحضور مرتهن بمدى المهنية العالية التي تمتع بها العاملون بها بدرجة كبيرة، وأيضاً بتغطيتها لكثير من القضايا ومحاولتها أحياناً في أن تظهر ما لا تظهره الصحف الأخرى. لذا أنا أجد اليوم هذه فرصة طيبة أن نلتقي بالسيد جولدمان، رغم أن الموضوع الذي هو مطروح علينا هذا الصباح تناول تحديات العصر الرقمي كما يقال في مجال الإعلام أو الصحافة، وأعتقد أن هذا ربما يقودنا للحديث عن تحديات أخرى يواجهها الإعلام، وربما أيضاً يفتح صفحة بعد ذلك حين نأتي للنقاش حول كثير من القضايا التي تهم الإعلاميين والإعلاميين العرب تحديداً. باسمكم، باسم نادي الصحافة الذي نشكره على هذا الملتقى الجيد والمهم في وطننا العربي، نرحب بالسيد جولدمان. I have introduced you in Arabic, and I think most of the audience here are Arabic speaking, so we'd like you to start by giving us a brief on the challenges you think are facing the traditional media in what they call the digital era.
Okay, thank you, Hessa. It's a pleasure to be here. This is my third visit to Dubai, and I'm very pleased to be able to return. We focus on the challenges that the media faces in the digital age, and I think it's very important to have the point of view that challenge and opportunity are the same thing, like risk and reward. You can't have one without the other. There is a significant challenge to our business model. Newspapers in print have been very profitable for a very long time, and that profitability is being challenged. Right now it's challenged on two respects. One are the changes that we call secular. These are significant changes in the way people behave in society that will continue. The other is cyclical, changes that happen for a period of time but will reverse. And right now we have both those coming together with a significant cyclical downturn in the economy, as well as a significant secular change in the way people consume media. So the true difficulty right now is the combination of those two. I think either one is manageable by itself, but together they have made the last 18 months extremely difficult. But the opportunity that comes with the way people are now consuming media on so many different varieties is first and foremost a huge expansion in our audience. The New York Times now reaches 20 million people every month in the US alone. And that is the biggest audience we've ever had. More people are experiencing the journalism of the New York Times than ever before. The same thing is true of the International Herald Tribune, with its reach in digital readers and on the web. It's a bigger audience than it ever had before. So our challenge is, our opportunity is to reach this enormous audience with our editorial, our content. Our challenge is to find a business model that is as rewarding as the traditional newspaper model has been in the past.
So you think that is affecting the media in terms of content also, rather than just challenges that is economical? How can you meet those aspects and maintain your credibility as a newspaper that was really or had some credibility in the market, not only in terms of the reputation, but also in terms of people you choose to work for you, the professionalism you had in the area of newspapers?
Yes, I think,
that's, I think,
for national media, for international media, our credibility remains high. The challenge in recruiting people now is the question about the economic future. Inside our company in the United States, there is great respect and great pride in working for the New York Times Company, but people are concerned as they read about changes in advertising, about changes in profitability. What's the future of the business? So I'm pleased to say that we finished last year and had a first quarter this year that was very good. So we think that we've gotten through the worst of the cyclical downturn and now face those secular changes that will continue to change the way people consume media. I think in the next year, 2 years, we're going to see an explosion in the number of electronic devices that enable individuals to consume information personally and in the way they want to, whether it's over mobile phones, over tablets, over e-readers, over the web. We're going to see a great increase in the number of those devices. And the New York Times Company, the International Herald Tribune, is well aware that what we have to do is provide our information on all of those platforms. We are extremely proud of our newspapers. They are the biggest part of our business, and the readership is very loyal. But they are in decline. There's no question about that. And what's rising dramatically is the amount of time people spend receiving news and information over their mobile phones, over their computers, and increasingly over their tablets. The iPad from Apple has sold at an astounding rate in the United States. Over 1 million iPads were sold in a month. It's faster than the iPhone, which was the most rapid sale of electronic equipment. So it's learning how to use those devices, learning how to tailor our content, and figuring out the business model.
But doesn't that remind you of what have been said during the era of TV, that the cinema is going to sort of leave the place and the TV will take over the audiences? And that happened for a certain period of time. A lot of people turned from movie to sit at home and watch TV. But then you have, again, sort of coming back of the movie traditions or the cinemas coming back to those. So I think there are also uncertainty about what people take as their medium of information or entertainment, because at certain point of time, also the same has been said about the cinema. The
Yes.
dying cinema, as
I
they
think,
call it.
well,
But
that's
then
right.
it didn't die, it stays the same. Isn't it?
And if you go back and look over time, from newspapers to the telegraph to radio to television to the cinema, there was great concern that a new medium was going to destroy the old. And so far, no medium has been destroyed. Each new medium finds its own place. But it becomes the question then that I think is most interesting is to think about, well, what is the newspaper at heart? And I look at what happened in the music industry. The phonographic record was developed over 100 years and a wonderful way to listen to music. And when analog information goes digital, there's a pattern, I think, that happens. And it first creates a boom to the business model. Business explodes. When the CD came out, many, many people went out and repurchased music they already owned on a phonograph on a CD. So it was the best business years that the recording industry ever had. But that was quickly followed by huge disruption in the business model. And the CD replaced the phonograph in just 4 or 5 years,
Very rapidly,
immediately,
yes.
almost. And that's because it did everything that a phonograph did and did it better.